Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 1 hour per day build in Cities Skylines with me, your host and insane mayor, Zerberus. So, yesterday we did some changes. Afterwards, I looked at the traffic a little bit, or rather, I gave a tour, and yeah, I think I got an idea or two. So, let's just crack open this beer and get to it. Wonderful, wonderful beer. So, where's my keyboard? Let's use this one. So, what? Dropping frames? I shouldn't be. No, that'll work fine. So, first off, we obviously get back into the actual game, let it run. This whole setup is still far from ideal, but I think if I implement that idea I had yesterday, we should probably actually do pretty well. And that idea is basically to see if we can't extend this highway basically just like straight through. Oh, so those are empty now. That's excellent. Do we want to bulldoze them? Oh no, they're emptying, sorry. So we're actually probably gonna have to bulldoze or move those. The idea I'm having is to come off of this road probably about here, even here or here, one of those two, relatively soon, and then just actually have the high. Well, maybe that's not such a good idea to reconnect the highway up there. You know what? I think I may have the solution. Because the biggest issue is that this can only go one way. And so all the traffic going that way is forced to use the highway, which in theory is a good idea, but may just be a little bit too much traffic. Let's see if turning this into a 6-lane two-way road, and also then extending that 6-lane two-way road up to here, and then basically turning the highway. Yeah, exactly. I think that just might work. Stop talking about it, just do it, and see what happens. Obviously, though, that also means we have to redo Of course, you can pick your lanes. If you're on the roundabout, it's kind of pointless to not be able to pick your lanes. And we had that same setup here everywhere, right? Yield on the outside, priority on the inside. That looks good. That's what we had here as well. Oh, we don't actually have that here. That may be the cause of at least a little bit of our grief. So now we'll get back to updating this road. Let's move that down a little bit. Gonna have to anarchy it in. Gonna have to anarchy it in again. Just gonna knock out that one, but that's not so bad. We can just add a new path in quick. What just happened there? Getting some interesting response issues. Game's trolling me here. There, now we've got that back. So I'll get back to our roads. Roads. Oh. So just totally pooched that bridge. That one's actually not so bad though. And then we'll pop another one in over here. And yes, that means this building has to go. Did it knock out any more? No, it didn't. At least not up until here. That's probably what's going to blow out the next one. And of course, it's going to blow out that connection again. So we want to once again redo this path over top. So now we can de-anarchy. And so we'll have to set lane arrows now in numerous places again. And I'm hoping this will give them a second way to go through here, and that will overall take some of the load off of the highway. Idea being we'll actually take this big 6-lane all the way around. At least until like here or so, yeah. And with them being able to go both ways, then we're going to want these also to be 2 ways. Obviously. So now we have to once again go around and do our dedicated turning lanes. We may even actually be able to get away with just this. Probably won't. We're probably still gonna have to, if nothing else, just extend this like out to, yeah, probably like about even, possibly even out to here, or maybe we can get away with it out here. I mean, we do have some extra space here now that I think about it, so it's actually not that much of an issue. There's not that much that's gonna have to be moved. Let's check first to see if it even had any of the desired effect. Obviously we need to rezone quite a bit of stuff now. Yeah, that was just a total fail. So let's never do that again. And since we're noticing that anarchy is still on, we might want to turn that off quick. That is Umbrella back there, so that's obviously not anywhere we're wanting to build commercial, at least not a standard commercial. It's not to say that absolutely nothing is ever going to happen back there, but why is there still so much commercial space that's unzoned in here? Really shouldn't be something they have to deal with. It's not in any significant capacity, and yet here we are. But that does give us actually a little bit of extra commercial space. Well, not extra, it actually primarily moves our commercial space a little bit, but I'm just hoping that that's gonna give us a bit less grief on these highways. Or on this highway specifically, just by allowing people to also just go straight through town here. But still connect up to this highway. Awesomely high 65%, so that may not have been the solution we were looking for. That said, converting all of these roads in here to two-way is obviously also the way to go. That will then just also give them the possibility basically to go through here any way they really see fit, and since this is now a commercial zone and not an industrial area, that's not really a problem. Or, let me rephrase that, it shouldn't be a problem.
Sound of refreshment. Pop soda refreshment. Pop soda. Belch the best.
Bring the whole family to At the Old Grain Mill, old-fashioned family restaurant. At the Old Grain Mill always has the best service and the best home-style meals in town. We'll make sure you always leave At the Old Grain Mill with a smile and a full belly. Now, be sure that you come down to At the Old Grain Mill, old-fashioned family restaurant, and not the abandoned grain facility at the edge of town. It's not safe for visitors and poses
that should be all of those one-way roads taken out now, which will also give us better services access to most of this.
Sign and uniforms before we learned of the existence of that dangerous old flour mill, so we are not responsible for what happened there on that awful night. We just want to focus on making great meals.
Seems a bit chaotic, but I do think it's actually working better.
Old-fashioned family restaurant.
Obviously we have the traffic lights that we want to get rid of now just about everywhere.
It might come as a surprise to some of you, but the title of Deep Thought was simply given to me.
course, we now have to set actually only just that back up, and of course this.
Don't assume that you're simply outclassed when you see the success of your peers. Take it as an inspiring reminder of what you will soon achieve. Always in your corner.
My God, seriously. I don't even want to know how much that park is earning us already. Oh, 22,000 a week. 16,000 visitors already. So, you know what we might do? In fact, exactly, we'll add a park maintenance building. We'll just outsource that also to the Umbrella Corporation, I think. Just seems like something they might be good at. Please do not ask me why. Oh, and this will actually cover basically our entire town already? That's excellent. And we did put up road maintenance somewhere, right? Yeah, in that industrial area, and that's it. So maybe we can get slightly better results. Putting another one like in here somewhere. There already seems to be a much lower flow on this main highway, which is excellent. That's kind of what we were hoping for. Now we're up to 73% again already. And it's looking much better. As far as overall concept goes. Still thinking we might want to go with 6-lane roads up here, but I'm not really seeing the point either. Where does this get hard? Really up here for the most part, so... You know what? We will actually go with 6 lanes up here. And we'll just move this out a little bit. To the point where it's not in the water. Move this up a little bit also to the point where it's just not on the road. And then an autosave or a huge lag? What's going on? That was a massive lag, yeah, that's interesting. Oh, and you know why it is? Because of the power of the water pipe underneath it, exactly. Now we'll just put a new one just right in there. Exactly right in here where it fits properly again. Problem solved. And we could maybe add that snapping, that way these actually connect up. Moving these is going to be a bit more of an issue. What happened here? And we'll find out very soon. There was a reason for that, believe it or not. That being that we're going to move both of these up a little bit. And that way we'll just put the pumping station back right here. And it may not, it's not automatically connected up, so we do have to bulldoze that pipe. That problem should not. Water availability is that? Oh, wait a sec. I think we still have it budgeted down, right? I think that's the issue. Yeah, we still have our water availability just budgeted way, way, way down. We actually still have more than enough. And even if we run out, we can actually still... Why do we have so much sewage treatment, actually, now that I think about it? Oh, it doesn't matter. Control W says we now have 3 filled landfills. We actually want to start getting away from landfills completely. So when they're actually truly filled, that's one cemetery full. There's the cemetery over here. There it is. That's a second one full. We need to get 3 cemeteries full so we get the Lazarette Plaza. And now they're asking for industry space again. That was planned. That's not a surprise. Let me just wait for them. Whoops, sorry about that. Seriously? Slope too steep? I don't think so. Why are the... Oh, because... They didn't allow the node to snap, yeah. Why are we still getting that effect up there? We're obviously using the road, but... Is this like set up with a move it mod beforehand? Is that what's going on here? And it's just kind of screwing with me? Yeah, it does appear to be exactly what's going on now. No, we didn't want to open up Chirpy. We actually wanted to turn on Anarchy. Can we purchase another tile already? Yes, we can, so we'll pick that one up. Just so that we... In fact, we'll actually swing over to the right with these. Everything else is just kind of pointless. No, that's exactly the wrong tool, thank you. For showing us what we didn't want to do. Took that in a little bit sharp, didn't I? Yeah, that's what happened. Ah, it looks somewhat reasonable. We could put those right up next to another if we wanted, but actually that's not entirely natural to necessarily build them perfectly next to each other. So... and they're gonna want a junction here relatively soon, even probably even right here. So before that even becomes an issue. Ah! Give me back my chat. Thank you. And we'll actually plunk in pair of turbines, or at least one turbine over here. I was expecting that to be much larger. As usual, on and off lanes get popped up to 4. Well, we don't have on and off lanes there on that side. We also want our little turning around lanes. And then we can just like nest an industry area in here. Yeah, I think that'll work just fine. And in fact, we'll actually, at least for the time being, actually connect this straight up. We may change that in the long term, but for now, I think this is actually going to be the solution we want. it'll still work just fine. Exactly, and these two industrial areas are actually still nicely tied in. We can actually still leave everything running though. But I do think it's working better overall. At least it appears to be. This is just nowhere near as gummed up as it used to be. This side is still a little bit of an issue. Probably in no small part because of the cross traffic coming from here, but that said, that cross traffic also doesn't have to wait forever to get in, so while there's a bit of a wait to get across, it's not deal breaking. That said, might be worth an idea to make this a one-way road in that direction and this one a one-way in that direction. It wouldn't have any impact on the pedestrian traffic, but it would have an impact on the vehicle traffic, of course. So and I actually kind of like that idea, so we'll see if that doesn't give us something closer to what we want to see here out of this. And now, of course, we have to pause the game again, because once again we have to rebuild. Well, if we're going to do that, then we may as well. I'm going to do a lot of path rebuilding today. There, now we've lowered that down to the point where we actually get a support there again, so that seems to have worked just fine. We can turn anarchy off though. That'll make this a little bit more effective when it actually works. Might have been the solution, because now all this traffic is going to come on over here where it's just not as congested, and that might actually solve that. Got some light queuing going on, but nothing extreme. Obviously, it would be better if these came in at more of an angle, but yeah, I mean, when you look at how many roads there are coming in and off here, might be a problem to find room to put that somewhere. So yeah, it's still industrial demand that we're getting. But what I did want to check was just really quick on that park over there. What is going on here? Fairly certain that's not the way that's supposed to look. All anarchies are off, right? So we can just... Very interesting effects. Why are we getting this effect? Because I don't even have to actually move anything using the Move It mod, I just have to basically select it and act like I plan on moving it, and then it just automatically does what it's supposed to do. Not sure where that bug is coming from. But it's interesting that some of these are really just going completely haywire.
Colossal ore. More than ore.
For like a half a second I thought it might be my graphics card, but then it would be everywhere and not in just like certain spots where the game just thinks it's cool to trip us out. I don't think we have that issue anymore anywhere, so we should now be able to look at our roads and traffic without getting eye cancer. And this is once again very, very heavy. We may want to put the outside lanes. Oh, that's right, we don't have dedicated turning lanes anywhere back in there, so we might as well do that. Build more industrial zone. Yeah, I know. Shift U. Oh, Shift U. Sorry about that. Just get rid of our day-night cycle quick. Yeah, and now we'll set up turning lanes for everything in here, at least for the outside ring, all the way around, if we haven't yet. Apparently some places didn't have it set up. Oh, and they have traffic lights back in here as well that we can obviously get rid of. Why so many traffic lights? I don't quite get that. But okay. I really don't quite understand the game's logic about when, as far as when and where it puts in traffic lights, but as long as we can remove them, it's not so bad. Yeah, the traffic back in there is actually really, really bad. Oh, seriously? Why is it? I mean, come on, this is... What did we ever build that would wind up going up through here and causing that? I mean... This is quite annoying. Just having to do this at all. There, we can live with the screwed up textures. Doesn't even actually look completely wrong. Still trying to figure out the when and why, though. Oh, that was already reasonably connected. That actually doesn't even look half bad considering that it's pointless. Industry and commercial, the standard complaints for the most part. It looks like we've managed to fix our roads to the point where they agree that they're still roads and not weird portals into other dimensions. There might be a portal to another dimension underneath all those trees, we just can't see it. Oh, seriously, was that never zoned? Yeah, I think we've got all of those issues sorted now. In fact, we'll probably expand residential up into this area and just create one final district up here. Because, I mean, this line is from where the map originally ended, so that's obviously a non-organic line. More or less the same up here. Oh, those aren't actually map ending lines, no. Okay. But none of that really matters right now at this point in time, because we need industrial zones. Is this looking a little bit better? That's still very, very heavy traffic. Big issues is that a lot of people just want to get onto this highway, and so that's causing them a lot of them to come down here. Oh, wait a sec. Can they even get onto the highway in the other direction? No. So what we might actually want to do, against our better judgment, put in a connection over here so that anybody who's up here that wants to come down here doesn't actually have to funnel all the way back up there and then come back. Just to allow that industry area a little bit better access to the cargo harbor. I get a feeling that that's probably going to wind up taking quite a bit of traffic pretty fast, so we're actually going, yeah, that's immediately just becoming a main road, so 4 lanes, dedicated turning lanes. Should work. Not gumming up too much. Does seem to be taking some of the traffic out of here. Does seem to be quite a bit coming through these lines now and then just jumping off, which is basically excellent. It's more or less exactly what we wanted to see. That said, we may actually want to go with 1 lane, with 2 one-lane roads for this. And I think I know exactly how. No, we want that one going that way. And we'll actually make a 3-lane one-way road out, coming out to here. And of course we get a traffic light that nobody asked for. And we got one here too. That's working reasonably well. I think it is. Definitely took at least some load off of this. That said, now we're getting the traffic coming back in from down there, so it wasn't a total win. Yeah, no, that's the main drag. In fact, you know what? We'll do it a little bit differently. Make that a 4-lane two-way and take that one out completely. Why is this industry anyway? This needs to be offices, these 3 buildings. So, yeah, I think we've kind of solved this. Not totally, definitely not. Still getting very heavy traffic down there. Still getting some major issues over here. Or major might be a little bit of a strong word, but some heavy issues down here. Oh, that's right, and we never actually extended the 6th lane out, did we? Even though that was always planned. Set our priority signs again. Lane restrictions. Make sure there are no traffic lights. Of course there are traffic lights. But that should actually just turn this into like this. You know what? That might be an idea as well. Just allow this 6th lane to just completely bypass the roundabout. That would be an idea. And here we're getting major coming up. Oh, that's right, because all of these are now 2-way intersections. That means we only have priority signs in one direction so far.
Italian leather, Italian threading. Pernu is Italian for jean jacket. We take the second best of Milan and with an appropriate markup, bring it to you. Just because you don't have taste doesn't mean you shouldn't have.
And that should also then improve our traffic flow a little bit.
But not quite.
Saddle up in the mornings with Jimmy and the Stallion, the only morning show featuring DJ Jimmy Fries and a 4-year-old
That looks to be
quarter
working
horse named
fine.
Clover.
So dedicated turning lanes,
This
of
is
course.
Jimmy Fries coming to you from Studio 2. Whoa! Looks like someone's horsing around. Okay. Easy, boy.
Oh,
They'll play
we
your
actually
favorite
never
hits
added
and
those
give out
back in
drink
here at
prizes
all.
and
So
laugh their way
yeah,
through
that
your
is, or at
commute.
least up in this
Jimmy and
area.
the Stallion, stable entertainment only
So
on
that
Cities
probably
Radio.
will give us a legitimate improvement.
We're all here working to build ourselves a future, and I know it can be easy to lose sight of your goal.
81%
It's hard to
full.
imagine, but one day you'll be
Garbage
looking back at these
overall.
times fondly,
Processing is
secure in the
low
fruits of
again.
each long hour you spent studying.
And we'll add
Here's a little
some
something
more
to
incinerator
settle
over
sail.
here.
Let's all share a moment of nostalgia for a past that's yet to come.
We'll add one out here. probably make sense to add at least some out here in these industrial zones. In no small part also to make sure that this residential area also gets served. So what's a story on cemeteries? That one's probably still going to take a while. 116 people in there. That's still going to take a bit. 1,300. But that one's already filled. And that one's already filled. And I think there's two more. Exactly. There's that one. And whichever one winds up serving our new residential area. Once we get that put in. So then we will. It still annoys the hell out of me that we don't have a 4-lane one-way road. We have like this medium industry road. This as a one-way road would be ideal. We don't want that version though. So yeah, I guess we'll just start once again. Again, that corner directly off the highway is going to be offices anyway. So now we'll take those 4-lane one-ways again. That's going a little bit too close. I think that's about as good as we're going to get this, which isn't necessarily bad, but just not quite how we were hoping to have it set up. That said, they do have access to 2 highways, so that's definitely a boon, or should be at least. Yeah, I don't want this one to come off here then even. We'll come back on, yeah, somewhere around here-ish. That should work, that should work. Fill this up just because we can. Oh, and the usual culprits, trash, police, fire. They may wind up using this as a... Yeah, they're already using it to transfer from there to there. So that's already becoming a problem. Oh, but this is cleared up really nicely for the most part. without causing major grief down here, so... Okay, okay, okay. So I'll just fill this in then. I'm thinking this industry area should actually work pretty nicely and actually, and again, I think that transferring from one highway to the other highway through this industrial area actually is not going to be something that causes us major grief. I think that may even be an advantage. Down here, things look to be improving as well. People can get on and off here in both directions. You know what, we will pop in another one of our pedestrian bridges here though. And here as well. That should sort that. Again, if I remember correctly, the pedestrian bridge also, well, you know what, we'll toss one in right there as well, and that will, screw everything, okay, so we need to knock out those two and those two, but other than that, it actually works. I can just barely get off between these commercial buildings, but that's okay. In fact, you know what? We'll knock out those two as well, just so that we can put some of that commercial zoning back in there and not have to fill up too much with trees. Here, there's not really much of a choice we have. Unless we were to put it down on the other side, which is pointless because that's a highway. And I do actually think that's going to do us just fine. And once again, it's almost immediately taken a significant amount of the load off of these this, or it hasn't taken the load off specifically, but it's just allowed them to flow out better. Because they don't have pedestrians in the way anymore. Yeah, removing the traffic lights in here also solved part of the problem, and then now we're just having the problem of way too many people coming in. Specifically, probably to turn around. Let's see. Well, actually, it's not that much traffic that wants to turn around, it appears. For the most part, they're either going up here or actually... Oh, that's right, because this actually splits off in two directions. I kind of forget that every so often. And in fact, we need to... 2-lane one way, 2-lane one way, 2-lane one way. How far can we go with that? Oh, we can't go at all. Well, they just have to live with that one splitting off really basically immediately into two. That said, nobody really seems to want to get over there, so there's that. Ah, we need our flare up to 4. That might be part of why this is coming up. There we have our flare to 4. There we don't have our flare to 4. fact, we're going to have a really, really small section of 5. What we have to do to get that, though, is not going to be pretty. There, and that gives us that node. The only reason we want that is so that we can upgrade this mini section to 5 lanes so people get a dedicated turning lane off there. And that means we can tear this out again. Because otherwise they try to merge here and then they basically immediately get screwed by being forced to turn off here. No, wrong button. Just totally wrong utility and everything. I think those nodes are just too close together. They can't actually jump over in time. So, what we'll actually do...
Anyone who wants it can have it. You just have to
We
ask
will
for it.
reconnect
Our
this with
3-day
3.
sleepaway camp is the perfect place to strike it rich. Who are we? Well, we're the
Let me
number one
guess
dream makers in the region. And you are a motivated, driven, confident individual who has a desire to
And
make
immediately
it big.
afterwards we go up to 4 and then we jump up to
Above 120. This is
5.
exciting. This offer is
That
just for
should
you
work.
because you deserve it.
And then we'll just take our
Come
gravel
along. So
road
don't wait. The
off
early
of
bird
here.
catches the worm, and the worm is a bus at 143 Industrial Way that leaves at dawn. So grab destiny by the horns. Go
Actually,
on, grab it.
since
It's
we
yours
now
for
have
the taking.
2
Put it
nodes
for
between
nothing.
there,
Carb up
we
with
should actually be able to
yakisoba,
get away with
the
4
noodle
lanes just
masters.
fine.
No matter what stage of life you're in, we have the perfect noodles for you.
What we'll do,
From
though, we'll
birthday noodles
extend
to
that out
wedding
to there.
noodles,
And we'll
all
just
the
not
way
connect
those
to
most
this node, but to
primal
this node.
noodles. Every
And that should
occasion
give
has
us
a noodle
enough
like
space.
yakisoba, so experience something different. Yakisoba. It literally means fried noodles.
This is Deep Thought. Welcome back to the Deep Focus channel.
Yeah, that should work just fine. Just because we can't... No, we won't plop offices in there. We don't really need to. But... Oh, they have... water, okay. Well, that kind of makes sense that they have water, considering they're so close to the Umbrella Corporation, but... Yeah, so industry is now plodding along. Everything's doing, for the most part, just fine. Traffic is probably still a horrendous number. Yeah, 73. We're still going to have to work on getting that up, getting that improved. I'm actually surprised. Well, these aren't actually too close. It's just that everybody wants to go here. What I can't figure out is why these people are coming up here, though. Well, unless they just want to go specifically there. Yeah, that could be, actually. There is a huge amount of traffic down here. That much is for sure. You know what? Are we gonna run some outside lane bans? Does that make sense? I think it'll probably make a be a better move, more prudent decision to actually take a relook at that tomorrow again, because I think we're actually already over our hour anyway. Let me take a quick check. Oh yes, we are totally over the hour. So, yeah, basically, episode 11 is now done. We've put this in. We have some commercial demand now that we can still worry about. In fact, we can actually satisfy that commercial demand just by putting commercial in here where we originally had those. Taking it out here where everything's short zoned as a result of the landfills being there earlier. And that way we can actually just build the entire area. And that should actually even be enough commercial to satisfy demand now that I think about it. Especially since there's some more space back here as well. Not much, but just enough to possibly make a difference. Seriously. I really wish I knew what caused that, because then I would be able to figure out a way to get rid of it. That said, it's the first time I've ever seen it, so it may just be a setting or an incompatibility. Probably nothing major. Yeah, but overall, this 6-lane outer ring seems to be doing its job just fine. Gets a little bit tight back up in here, but not really to an annoying degree. That said, you know what? We can reduce the degree of annoying a little bit, and that'll be the last thing we do for today. Just by making those 4-lane two-ways. Yeah, give some of them the opportunity to just go speeding straight through. And you know what? We'll go with another pedestrian route. Well, will we? We'll look. I think we'll look at that tomorrow, whether or not we want to do pedestrian bridges out in here. Although, you know what? Screw it. Got our interesting modern artsy bridges. took that one out as a result. Yeah, these bridges are basically what happens when somebody spends too much time in modern art school and not enough time in engineering school. And we'll actually pop one more in right here, knowing this is probably going to take everything to hell. Well, not everything, but enough. But as many people as are actually using these bridges, it very quickly becomes obvious that that was a good idea. I mean, this is the usage of bridges up here is like a joke in comparison. And when we talk about what's a joke in comparison, remember, we've got this little bridge being served from this mini micro park where just thousands and thousands of people are running through. You know what? We're actually going to slightly improve that park. If we're already going to have a park there, we may as well see if we can't get our entertainment value up a little bit. What is it? 220 for the next level? Just for more income, as dumb as it sounds. If we're gonna fleece them, we're gonna do it right. Oh, we don't have gazebos yet? That's a problem. And I don't think we're gonna get a chessboard in. Oh, maybe. How much entertainment does that give us? 70. That's not actually enough. Expand the district a little bit, or the park area I should say, just to there. Now all of that, yeah, instantly. That took literally like 0 seconds. How much do we need for the next level? 420 entertainment. That could be a legitimate problem. Just as far as space goes. 10, entertainment 50. See if we can just barely get this off somewhere. Yeah, we're just not going to get up to that level, so we may as well just delete these completely. Actually, I did kind of like having that one. Is that the Park Plaza? No, that's the Park Chessboard. So let's actually use a Park Plaza instead. Just give people a place to go. See what we can't find to put in there. Gotta be something small. We need a level 3 park for gazebos, so maybe just restrooms. Just public restrooms for no particular reason. That actually doesn't look too bad. It's very obviously very popular. I'm not going to be able to improve the way that looks much. So that's still, but what we can do is pop like some massive trees over top. Just kind of try to hide it a little bit. To grab that good old, one of those good old beech trees again. And just put that not right in the middle of the path, obviously. Yeah, that'll hide the entrance nicely. And eventually these trees will also grow back, because eventually some of this industry will... may or may not wind up moving out. Why is this going like molasses? Once again, no dedicated turning lanes. I think we need to go with 4-lane for that as well. It's just not gonna really do us any good the way it is right now. I don't want to say immediate improvement, but the queues do seem shorter. Oh, that's right, and we need to pull some of those down as well. That was going to be something that winds up causing us lots of grief. Crossing the road here doesn't actually... Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. We'll just plop that in, and now we should finally have... Oh yeah, that just instantly improved the traffic flow out of there, just like this did. So let's take a quick look at the traffic. 73%, still haven't gotten big numerical improvements, but it does seem like we're overall improving quality of life for the most part. Of course, I have to say that and immediately find out we have traffic lights where nobody wants them, which are of course doing exactly the opposite. We may have to upgrade the roads over here just a little bit still. Probably also going to wind up going with like these 2-lane, 2-way roads. These 4-lane, 2-way roads. In fact, you know what? That will be the last thing we do today. Completely pointless to do that back in that cul-de-sac, but it's too late now.
To drive a cloud? What does it feel like to steer a river? What does it smell like to smell a mountain? At Jubilee, we're committed to letting you do the impossible, and now we've succeeded in letting you drive the undrivable.
That was all the roads back here, right?
Dementia. The car engineer
Shouldn't be
said
anything
shouldn't
anywhere
be
else.
made. Test drive one today and experience what scientists for decades claimed was beyond the realm of safe driving.
So, dedicated turning lanes, dedicated turning lanes, dedicated turning lanes. There it doesn't matter. There it definitely matters. Matters.
It might come as a
Matters.
surprise to
Matters.
some of you, but
Matters. Matters.
I have heard
Matters. Matters.
many
Matters.
days of study and meditation
Matters. Matters.
all
Matters. Matters.
It's tempting to attribute the success of others to luck,
There. That's where we wanted to go.
hours of practice and dedication. Don't assume that you're simply outclassed when you see the success of your peers. Take it as an inspiring reminder of what you will soon achieve. Always in the corner.
So,
This is the deep
capacity was the issue, then the problems should slowly be solving themselves. But yeah, as we can see here, pure capacity in and of itself wasn't actually the issue. Once again, those damn kids are in the way. I wonder how long it's going to wait to tear those out. Over here, it's not so bad as much anymore. Oh, one of them left. What about the others? You guys don't get a hint quick, do you? Take a hint. Back down to 70%, so that may have actually even been counterproductive. Oh, that's right, because we're still basically using the same crap roads in there. So that's actually what's causing us grief now. Yeah, that should be an improvement overall, I think. I didn't expect these to be the problem at all. That was just a total surprise. I should have expected it, but I just didn't. So now we will absolutely do the very last thing we're going to do for today, and that is set up our turning lanes on these newly installed intersections, at least on some of them. Most of them. It's not like it's a huge hassle, but it is a bit of a hassle, so. And I think that's just going to be game, set, and match for today. You know what? Can I pop in a 2-lane? That would be pointless. That would be pointless. In fact, it doesn't even really need a 4-lane for... But if that would be pointless, then it would almost make sense. Because they're queuing from here already, and there isn't really much coming in here. Didn't I just say that was going to be like the last thing we do? So, yeah, exactly. Let's stick to that promise, because there is actually... There was just a worker complaint here, wasn't there? Oh, here. Not enough buyers for products. What? Not enough buyers for products? that shouldn't be happening. That said, as long as not enough buyers for products is not happening at the same time where our commercial areas are saying we don't have enough goods to sell, then that's okay. If you get those two at the same time, that means that something is massively screwed up, and you probably have broken pathfinding somewhere, which is one of the biggest pains you can ever get. But the industry just doesn't have any buyers for some products. That's actually okay, especially for all of this general purpose industry. One, as we expand, there's going to be more demand, and two, well, yeah, as we expand, there's going to be more demand, period. That's just the gist of it. So, yeah. Not entirely happy with the current state of affairs, especially with regards to like traffic and stuff. Oh yeah, this is a major problem now. Because it's taking all the traffic from in here. How much of that is trucks? And good news, almost none of it is trucks. But that's still a major issue. But it's something we're going to look at tomorrow. So, thank you for sticking around. Thanks for watching the stream. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, please feel free to follow me on Twitch or like and subscribe on YouTube. That said, if you're on Twitch, at this point, you're actually about a week ahead of the YouTube stream. So if you really want it hot off the presses, Twitch is definitely the solution you are going to want to prioritize. So yeah, with that, I've been Zerb, you've been great, and see you all tomorrow. Cheers!